Hello there, Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. Victoria here, Radiant Moon Tarot. This is your love reading for mid-September through to the end of October 2023. This reading is for those of you currently in a romantic partnership of some kind, or if it comes up, a separation, temporary separation from your person. If you are single and looking for new love, I already have September readings out for you guys, and October will be coming shortly, depending on when you see this video. So the month of mid-September to the end of October, we've got a lot of very interesting energy going on. We are, of course, October heading into eclipse season. Eclipses are very much known to shake things up, to rattle our feathers a little bit, to bring things out of the woodwork, and possibly resolve some issues, or, of course, bring closure to things in that, right? And quite often we do get some surprises when we've got eclipses coming around. Okay, so October 14th, 15th, we have the new moon in Libra, and that is an eclipse. Some of you may be a little bit lucky in love, okay? Some of you are having a relationship reset at that time. There may be some little power struggles that do come to play or do come to light within your relationship. But this is a great time to cleanse, purge, and to detox, and maybe even have a fresh start. We've got the full moon eclipse in Taurus, 28th, 29th. Okay, so this can be where something can really come to fruition for you. Something comes to completion for you, right? It is about making those final decisions, getting things really wrapped up. So think back to the new moon in Taurus that we had. And this would be about 6 months ago, right? The moon cycles are about 6 months. So think back to that and reflect and see what has transpired in the last 6 months. What has come to fruition for you? What do you still need to work on? All right. But we do start off with the 14th of September, a new moon in Virgo, and we've got a really positive aspect. Here we've got Mercury in Virgo, and Mercury is direct as of the 14th. So this is an excellent time to have some important conversations, maybe hash some things out, and maybe even try something a little bit new within your relationship. For some of you, it's a new phase, and we do have come to the edge coming in here. So get ready. This is really all about being prepared to step forward, to take a leap of faith for some of you perhaps, or to step into the next phase. Okay, for some of you, come to the edge is really about getting out and having fun with your person. We've had a lot of very challenging energy through the summer for a lot of people, and this might be where it's like, okay, get ready here because we got to go. We got to do something different. We got to reconnect. We've got to have a little bit more fun, and so some of you might be going on some sort of adventures, but whatever it is, come to the edge energy is about preparing to step forward into something new, something better, something different, and ultimately something exciting. But we do have a little bit of a word of warning, word to the wise. We do have all that glitters, and we all know the saying, all that glitters is not gold. So with the masks appearing on there, there may be something going on around you that isn't quite what it seems. Okay, it's not necessarily authentic. It might be something that you can't quite trust, or something that you need to really pay attention to the details. You need to ask some more questions, do a little bit of research to maybe get to the heart of the matter, get to the truth. And you know, all that glitters, we all do this at any particular time in our day, in our lives, right? Think about, if you're feeling a little bit down, a little bit melancholy, and someone comes along and asks you, are you okay? And you say, oh, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm just thinking about something, or I'm just trying to sort something out, or I'm just really busy, right? That's not really the truth. Right. But, we don't always, we're not always in the energy or the environment to bring something up or to get something out in the open. So there may be something that you do need to explore with yourself, with your relationship, with your significant other, and something where we presenting something externally isn't necessarily matching what's going on behind the scenes. Okay. So there may be, because we do have Taurus energy coming up. Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus. Okay, and this is all about, your love and expansion and abundance in your life, but also about your resources. And so there could be some money issues that come up. There could be some hidden credit card debt, that kind of thing. Maybe someone loses their job or has a cut in pay and doesn't want to say anything, right? That kind of thing. So, but there may also be something that someone just hasn't told you about or hasn't revealed. And again, that can be you. It's not necessarily your person. Okay. So just know that there may be something here that does need to be addressed and something that needs to come out of the woodwork. I feel that if any of you are in a temporary separation, okay, you might be in the come to the edge energy. You might be willing to move forward with your relationship or to try and get things back on track. But again, all that glitters, there's something there that needs to be dealt with, right? You can't ignore it. You can't move forward with it hanging over your head or with it hiding in the background, right? Not going to be a good thing. But if you are in a temporary separation with your person, we do have mending energy coming in here. And mending energy is two people working together, committed to their relationship to get things back on track or to right some wrongs, or to just work together to move forward. So mending, healing, fixing, forgiving, okay, all of that energy. There may be with the all it glitters, there might be a little bit of a misunderstanding. All right. But I do think there is here an energy of getting things back on track. And even if you're not separated from your person or anything like that, right, sometimes we do feel disconnected from our people. We've got a lot of things going on in the world. We've got family things, we've got children, we've got workplaces, and, sometimes we just don't feel that we're spending enough time with our significant other, or we feel as though maybe we're drifting apart a little bit in some areas. So the mending energy is coming back together. All right. We do have the 9 of Swords coming in here. So, we don't always love the 9 of Swords because it's very much a self-imposed restrictive energy. The 9 of Swords is the present energy around you right now. So there may be some uncertainty, there might be some anxiety, some worries. Some of you might not be necessarily sleeping all that well with that particular energy. And this is where we do tend to overthink, we overanalyze things. Things do kind of swirl and twirl around in our head. Oh, look at that. You've got the 8 of Swords with that as well. Both of those energies are self-imposed restrictions, okay? So there may be something here that you're up in your head about, something that you need to address, you want to talk about, but you haven't figured out maybe how, okay? Or, the thing is the things that go bump in the night, right? The 9 of Swords is a nighttime card. And when we are lying awake in the middle of the night trying to sort out life's problems, things do tend to very much seem worse than they actually are. And when we do get that particular energy, it is a reminder that sometimes when we do get things out in the open, it's not always as bad as what we've built it up in our minds to be. And yes, it might be difficult. Yes, there might be some very challenging things that we need to talk about, but it's almost like a sigh of relief once we do get it out in the open rather than keeping it plugged up, keeping it locked up internally. So whatever your situation is, right? Some of you just have some minor worries or maybe some doubts, right? Others of you, it might be something a little bit larger, okay? But in this energy, right, those little creaks in your house, little bumps or weird noises in your house sound amplified in the middle of the night, right, rather than when they're in the light of the day. So there is something here where you do need to address something. You do need to get something out in the open because we do have the 8 of Swords there as well. Okay, so there's something holding you back or something keeping you stuck in one place. Okay, and sometimes it's an underlying fear. Quite often is what keeps us stuck, right? It's like, I need to ask this question, but I'm afraid of what the answer is going to be. Is it going to be okay? Is it going to be something we can talk about? Or is it going to be something that blows up my relationship? And so it can really keep us stuck in that energy, right? Because our brains are wonderful computers, but they can quite often play tricks on us. But the good energy, the good thing is you do have the Star coming in here. Now, this is so awesome for you guys, okay? Because we do have the the star right here, and your outcome energy is the star. So you have 2 star cards coming in here. Now, this may possibly be an influence of Uranus, right? Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, and Aquarius is the star card. And around the full moon in Aries, I didn't mention that one, by the way, the full moon in Aries on September 29th is where we have a very positive aspect between Mercury and Uranus. Uranus is the planet of innovation, freedom, rebellious energy sometimes as well, right? Hello, Aquarian energy. Okay, but this can be an energy where we may have some clashes, we may have some challenges, but this can also be freeing. And here we're restricted. So freeing up our energy, our thoughts, our emotions, right? So sometimes we do need a catalyst moment, or we do need to really address something and get something out in the open to free ourselves of that energy so that we can move forward. So this is the energy here between Mercury and Uranus, where one conversation may really change everything. This can be where it could be really, really positive for you to talk about something or to ask a question. You may even get a question asked of you, okay? But the star does bring in some wonderful serendipitous energy. So it's almost like, yeah, you may have some worries and doubts and things that you are thinking about, but with the star, it says everything's going to be okay. Regardless of how something plays out, regardless of what the outcome may be, it's all going to be okay for you. The star brings success and abundance and blessings to you. Miracles sometimes happen when the star comes about. Okay, this does represent some balance and some healing in your world here as well. And this is where we can really get to the end of things or make some decisions, okay, or feel like we have completed something, right? Like I've got this out in the open, I've completed this conversation, we made some decisions or we've made some progress, and now I'm feeling good, right? With that world card there. Okay, so success and blessings for some of you. There may actually even be a wish coming true because maybe your intuition is telling you that, hey, there's something going on. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. And of course, in our human existence, in our human mind, we quite often jump to the negative rather than the positive. But these are very positive energies coming in here, and they very much trump the 8 and 9 of swords. All right. So way better energy there. Okay. So your human brain, okay, may be keeping you stuck in a never-ending loop, a never-ending cycle. All right. But these are wonderful energies. The star, make a wish upon the star, right? And you never know what may happen when the star card does come out. Okay. But ultimately, it's resolving things and possibly have some really, really good news. Now, the energy activated in the next month and a half, we've got the 4 of Coins coming in here. So if there is any kind of money issues going on around your relationship, the 4 of Coins, buckle up. Okay, take a conservative approach, because the four of Coins is where we have stability and security. We've got a good solid foundation, right? But it is an energy of protecting something, okay, or being conservative in your energy. So for some of you, you may just be in the mindset where I need to protect my relationship, protect what I've built. Okay. For some of you here, there is some money things. So you've got to sort some things out there. Maybe this is where you kind of get your family budget back in order, or you are really in the energy here where you recognize the difference between wants and needs. 4 of Coins, right? We've got everything that we want, that we need, even if we don't currently have everything that we want, everything that we're wishing for, right? But all your needs are being met in this energy, whether it's monetarily, whether it's commitment-wise, whether it's something in your relationship, right? Whatever that happens to be. But it does bring, the 4s do bring stability and security. And this is where we do have our feet on the ground. So it's a good energy for the most part, okay? But it can be one of being overly protective. And it can be something here where, the traditional imagery on the card, right, is, dude sitting on a bench and he's got his feet planted on the ground, but he's protecting something over his heart, right? And so in this energy, there may be a situation here where there is something here that needs to be unearthed, some hidden treasure perhaps, right? In this particular Four of Coins, we've got a treasure chest, okay? And this guy here is very much protecting it, and it's locked. Okay, so there may be something just like the all that glitters energy where there's something hidden away and something that we do need to unlock, something that we need to uncover. All right, something that we need to talk about. Might be some minor things, okay? It might be some bigger things, all right? But as far as like opening your heart, right, and being very open and communicative and free-flowing energy, the Four of Coins, while it is in general a positive energy, it can be where we are a little bit careful, right? A little bit cautious about things, all right? And we do have a Two of Swords, okay? So there could be something here where there's a little bit of indecision. The Two of Swords, maybe that you do need to make a decision about something, whether it's something about communication or whether it's something about your money, something about your commitment, something about where your relationship is going, right? The Two of Swords, we're really thinking about something here. And, but it's like you're going within to find the answers that you need. You're tapping into your inner wisdom, right? This is one where we've got a blindfold on right here. So there could be something that you're ignoring, okay? You got the blinders on there, right? It's like, I know there's something going on. My intuition tells me so, but I don't want to deal with it, don't want to address it. And this is the energy that we're working through here anyway. All right. So for some of you here, it's time to open up a little bit. Okay, you might actually be the one that's keeping something locked away. And sometimes, especially if there's money things going on. Now, the important thing to note, you guys are all at different points in your relationship. Some of you have been with your person for a very long time, and it's like we don't have secrets from each other, okay? But hey, sometimes we just don't get things out in the open. Others of you, you're in a newer relationship. You're working through some things. Maybe you're hitting a milestone, especially with the World card coming in there, right? And, so now you're, revealing things about yourself, maybe some deep, dark secrets. If you're talking about money with your person now, right? We don't always talk about money and things right away, but maybe there is something here that you're keeping locked up, right? And quite often debt is what we don't want to tell someone about, right? We might have a little bit of shame or something like that around, our spending habits and all of that kind of stuff, right? So there may be something here that either you don't want to see or you don't really want to talk about. But the Two of Swords is about finding balance as well. So again, balancing your commitment with your person, balancing your budget, balancing your finances, right? And balancing the difference between the wants and the needs, and balancing between opening up, right? And, being a little bit more conservative in your energy, right? A little bit of healthy balance is always a good thing. But I do feel that there's perhaps a big decision that you do need to make about something, okay? And with this energy, you could just be going within. You're going internal. You're trusting your own judgment. You're trusting your intuition, and you're trusting your inner wisdom. You may also be engaging in a little bit of meditation here. And sometimes we do need to go within. We do need to quiet things down. We do need to contemplate and meditate. And the Four of Swords is an energy of meditation. It is also an energy of peace, making peace with a situation. So again, by communicating, by talking things out, by getting things out in the open, right? This is where we do find a peaceful resolution to things. And this is where we feel a little bit more at peace rather than this 8 and 9 of Swords, where we're not entirely comfortable in that energy. But the Four of Swords can also represent some rest and relaxation. So for some of you here, yes, you're looking for peace of mind in your relationship, but I also do think that for some of you, you need a vacation because there's a lot of analytical energy here. There's a lot of overthinking. And so perhaps in that Four of Swords, or Four of Pentacles, I should say, you might be trying to figure out, okay, I need a vacation. I need some R&R. I need some time off work. Sometimes maybe some of you might need some time away from your relationship for a little bit, for like a week or a few weeks or something, just to think about things. And you're trying to figure out how to make that happen. All right. But I do feel that you will figure out, whoopsies, whatever it is that you want, just jumping all over the place. I do feel here with the King of Wands that you're going to take the lead, you're going to take charge, you're going to figure things out, and you're really going to be very pleased with whatever decision, whatever direction, and whatever action that you've taken. The King of Wands can be the energy of having authority, being confident, right? Confidence restored rather than some, kind of fear-based kind of energy, right? So we can be a little bit more confident in ourselves and our decision-making process and in our relationship. King of Wands is also an energy of action, taking action, right? Not sitting back, not just sitting there worrying about things, right? The best thing we can do is take some initiative, and the King of Wands is a great energy to do that with confidence, right? With a little bit of passion and fire. Okay. For some of you with the King of Wands and the Four of Swords, all right, there might be an energy here where you're going to go on some little romantic getaway or something, maybe to revive a little bit of passion in your relationship. All right. But this is where we do go on some adventures as well. It's a very exciting energy with the King of Wands. Okay. And so this can be a maturing of your relationship. Okay. Or this can just be where you're feeling more connected with your people, and maybe you will go on a bit of an adventure. Now, the King of Wands can also be a very important person that is influential in your relationship in the next month or so. Now, this can be a person who perhaps gives some advice, or maybe someone who really gets you motivated in some way, right? It can be a friend, it can be a family member, it can be a coworker, it might even just be your significant other. Perhaps you're with a fire sign. Okay, some of you might be with a fire sign. You might have an Aquarian somewhere in your midst. Okay, your Aquarian may be your other half, but your Aquarian could also be that friend, that friend that kind of helps you see things in a different way, in a different light. They're really good at that, those Aquarians, right? See things, see the future almost. They might even predict something there for you. All right. But whoever this King of Wands energy is, this is positive energy. It's not in the upright. It's not in any kind of nefarious situation or anything like that in your reading. So this can be somebody that can just really help you out in some way. Okay. So very excellent energy, but it can also be your person stepping up to the plate. We've got the Ten of Swords coming in here, and this is your challenge position. So, okay, the Ten of Swords is like crash and burn kind of thing. The Ten of Swords in your challenge position is extra tricky. Now, it is a 10, so it is an ending or a conclusion, okay, and it's usually one that's a little bit challenging, difficult, painful, right? It can be for some of you a painful ending, but it can really be about your thoughts, right? And especially since we have the 8 and 9 of Swords, and now we've got the 10 of Swords in your challenge position. So sometimes it can be really quite challenging to work through some thoughts, right? To get things out in the open, especially if we've got any kind of fear or doubt within us somewhere, right? And it's like, man, this is not easy for me to talk about, to get out in the open, because I just don't know how something's going to go, right? Are we going to resolve something, get some closure, and then move forward? And let bygones be bygones, or find that peace and healing, or are we going to crash and burn in that energy, right? Once we do talk about something. So sometimes a little bit of uncertainty there that we're dealing with can really cause us, it messes with our head, right? Can cause us a lot more grief. Okay. But there is a little bit of challenge. So you could have some challenging communication in the month. There's a turning point, like I said, on the 29th of September with that full moon in Aries. Okay. And we do have a moon energy coming in here for you as well. All right. So yes, there could be a big release and a big relief. All right, with that moon, but it can be where something does come out of the woodwork. Something does come out into the open, something that has been hidden that needs to be addressed. The moon is really good for keeping things in shadow and for keeping things that are, it's an energy of illusion, right? and kind of like be all that glitters, right? Something is not quite as it seems, and we do need to figure it out, okay? So with the Hanged Man energy that's coming in here as well, which is a challenge, perhaps some of you have been, really finding it difficult to let certain things go, because the Hanged Man is an energy of surrender and release, right? It's an energy of where we open up our mind, open up our heart, we see things from a different angle, a different perspective, and this usually does bring us some wisdom, some enlightenment, and some clarity somewhere around. But the Hanged Man requires us to be patient. And so for some of you, being patient is a little bit of a challenge for you, right? It's like we want, in our human existence, we want things to happen here and now, right? We don't want to wait for stuff, right? And so sometimes we may need to take our time to work through some issues, all right? Perhaps some of you here, you may be in the energy, we can't ignore it. You might be in the energy where I've waited long enough, and now I really need to reveal how I truly feel. I need to reveal my wants, my needs, my desires, my fears, my worries. And I don't want to wait anymore. The time is now. And that can represent a bit of a challenge because it's scary. Okay. So it might be a little element of fear there. But some of us, we do need to remember that we do need to open up to other people's points of view. And that's not always the easiest thing to do, because sometimes we're just set in our ways. Sometimes we're stubborn. Sometimes we've figured everything out in our head, or at least we thought we did. But we ultimately have missed some sort of information somewhere along the way. So the Hanged Man is an important energy, does bring us a little bit of deeper understanding of things, right? So, but it does require that patience, and that can be challenging for some of you there. But yes, we do have the moon. And so some of these moon cycles throughout the next month and a half might actually be a little bit challenging for you. And it can be because we're shaking things up. We're bringing things out into the open. We're even putting ourselves in the position where if you want to fix and heal your relationship, you've got to talk about the hard stuff. And that's not always easy to do. And things, again, aren't resolved in a day. All right. But the moon cycles in the month ahead can also be, yes, they can be emotionally charged for you. So they can be a little tricky in that energy, but they can also benefit you because this is where we do let things go, right? And so I do feel that all of these moon cycles are probably going to have some sort of impact on your relationship, and challenging, possibly. Bring up some fears. Maybe the moon card can bring up your fears, but it's usually that feel the fear and do it anyway. Okay, so yes, you might be afraid to have a conversation. Do it anyway. Get it out in the open. Or you might regret something, or you may always wonder about something, right? And we don't want to do that necessarily. Okay, you want to know what you're getting into. Right. But whatever the moon cycle means for you, okay. For some of you, especially the new moon eclipse in Libran energy is all about relationships and balance and harmony within relationships, right? Making important decisions. Libra is represented by the Justice card, right? So this is where we are honest, we're truthful, we get things out in the open, and that's not always the easiest thing to do. But the new moon eclipse in Libra can bring some luck in love, and it can also be that relationship reset, but it can bring in power struggles within a relationship as well. So that's something to keep in mind, but it could be a really great turning point for you, right? So sometimes we do need to shake things up a little bit to get things back on track, or to figure things out, or to really recognize what we really have. All right. So the moon energy can bring out your intuition. Can bring out things that we need to shine a light on, right? And can also, maybe in some cases, bring about some love and romance, by the way, right? It's very romantic under the moon. So, maybe trying to find time to infuse your love life with a little bit more romance may be a little bit tricky, might be a little bit challenging for you. But if it's something that you want and you desire and you're willing to open up to or to work towards, you can achieve it. Okay, always important to remember that. But we also have the Six of Pentacles here as well. Okay, so yes, for some of you, there might be some money issues that are a bit of a challenge. Okay, the Six of Pentacles is one where it's another energy balance. Okay, and it's equal level of responsibility, equal level of commitment, equally sharing resources, right? Or equally paying the bills. All right, whatever equality means to you. And within a relationship, money differences can really cause some grief. And so with the Six of Pentacles, is everything balanced and fair in your relationships, right? Libra energy that we're coming into, focus on fairness. And this can be, maybe one person has had some changes in their career path and maybe now they make, double the money that you do perhaps, or maybe you're the one that makes some more money. And the way you were dividing up your bills previously may not work now. It might not make sense now. So again, this Four of Pentacles that's up here, Four of Coins in that deck, can be where we really do need to focus on your bills, your expenses, on your balancing your budget, right, within your family, and balancing your budget here with the Six of Pentacles. It's very important, right? Do you divide things up by dollars, or do you divide things up by percentage of salary? What does that fairness look like to you, right? So this can be where we really do need to get that out in the open. And of course, talking about money is not always comfortable, right? Because we all have different views and it can really blow up relationships sometimes, right? And it can cause some issues, but we do need to work through. It's the necessary evil that we need to work through. But the Six of Pentacles with the moon, okay, there might be some surprises in regards to money. And is that a challenge? Yeah, maybe. Okay, we don't like surprises, right? It's, the unexpected, and that's not how we're wired as humans. We like things to be linear, we like to know where we're going, and we don't like those hiccups along the way, even if there's something actually really positive. It's like, well, I need a minute, right? We sometimes need to sort through something there. But I do feel here that there is something that you're receiving in the next month and a half or so. So this can be receiving some money, some gifts, an exchange, and even exchange of something here, something that you've put out comes back to you. All right. So the Six of Pentacles is a very positive card, right? And, but it just might be that something comes to you out of the blue. And especially with that moon energy. We also do have a sun. So I think the eclipses, not just the moon cycles, but the eclipses specifically, right, are probably going to have some sort of effect, and possibly even a very positive one with that Six of Pentacles coming in there, right? You might have a sudden resolution of something, all right? Or maybe someone all of a sudden, something they've been waiting for, right? They might find a new job, or they might get that raise, right? So you could have something wonderful coming in for you with that. But your overall outcome for your month ahead, we do have the Star. So we start off with the Star and we finish off with the Star. Okay, so yes, shaking things up a little bit, but really you've got a lot of blessings. Miracles happen sometimes when we get the Star cards, the big old yes card. Okay, so yes, maybe something that you want is coming to fruition for you. But this is also about following your dreams, knowing what you want out of life, out of a relationship, knowing what you want and getting things back on track. And like I said earlier, the Star energy is ruled by Uranus. We do have a couple of very positive aspects with Uranus, even though Uranus is usually here to shake things up a little bit for us, right? Uranus does bring turbulent energy, right? And it can bring the unexpected, and it can bring those challenges, right? Because it is one where we've got to shake things up, right? But it also is liberating, right? It's very freeing energy there, but it also is like, doing things differently than you did before and in a much better way, right? So Uranus can be very beneficial, but also kind of challenging to work with sometimes, right? But if we embrace change, and if we've got an open mind, if we've got an open heart, then things can be a lot easier with that energy. But with the star energy, serendipity, hope is restored. You're optimistic about where you're going, right? So yes, we got some ups and downs. We got some fears and worries and things that we got to work through. But the star is saying, but it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay for you, whatever that looks like to you. Working on a relationship, how's it going to end? It's a little bit of a mystery when we do get the moon, right? A little bit of a mystery, right? It's, keep an open heart, keep an open mind, and we'll see, right? Remember, it takes two to tango, so there's more than one person in a relationship. The Six of Pentacles here, by the way, can represent, because there's three people on that card, okay, and it can represent buying something, paying some money, but getting something in return. And so for some of you, this can represent something like a relationship counselor, right? And you're paying for some service, but you are getting some benefit back in that energy. And, again, if, maybe there's some really challenging thought processes here about bringing this up with your person. Is your person willing to go to some sort of counselor or something like that, or some neutral third party, right? Are they going to be open to that, or are they just going to freak out and, bring out a big flat no? So sometimes when we do need to talk about those kind of things, it can be frightening to bring up, right? Because we just don't know how it's going to work out. All right. But I think for some of you here, it might be a little bit of a challenge to get that in the open or to get that on the ball. Okay. But I think that if you do manage to get that out in the open and make that decision, then it can very much benefit you, right? It's just a matter of getting there. Kind of like the gym, getting there is half the battle. But with that star energy, hope, faith, optimism is restored in that energy. And remember, it is an energy of blessings, miracles, a yes card, and it is one where we really do feel like there's a little bit of magic in the air and that there's something really positive happening. All right. We do have the Three of Wands, obstacles and blocks removed. We know what we want. We get a clear direction of where we're going and we're ready for action. Okay. So great energy there. We also do have the Eight of Wands. I'll just pull these two out first. We've got the Eight of Wands here as well. Positive communication, lines of communication open, maybe even some really good news. A lot of action, a lot of activity, and this is really moving you forward. This is where we overcome obstacles and challenges. We're just flying through, right? So this is where things really do speed up for you. We got a lot of kind of up and down, a little bit of slower energy coming in there, and this is where, boom, we're on the road, we're back in the saddle again, and we're moving forward in a really wonderful direction. The Eight of Wands quite often is related to manifestation, either setting your intentions, right? And this is where we're reminded that our intentions, the words we speak out into the universe, they do hit their mark. Okay, but this can also be where there's something manifesting in your life that you really wanted, and this can be something for your future. But we do have the sun. So you've got the sun, the moon, and the stars, so a lot of planetary influences for you. But the sun is beautiful energy, the happiest energy in the entire deck. Right? So happy, joy, success, positivity, optimism. Okay. This is some fantastic news for some of you coming in here with this. Okay. But it's also feeling good about where you're headed, feeling good about what the future holds with these energies, feeling good about the decisions that you've made and the conclusions you've come to. And this is feeling really good about the steps you're taking to move yourself forward, whatever that looks like to you, right? Whatever you are wanting and wherever you see yourself going, everything is opening up for you here. So I do think these eclipses, right, the sun and the moon and the stars, okay, I do think that there's shakeups and there's challenges, but ultimately there's a clearing of energy. And the Eight of Wands and that Three of Wands there, that's freedom. That's freedom right there. Okay, footloose and fancy free, maybe for some of you, but ultimately it is freedom from doubt, right? There's no doubt here. We're clearing the shadows away. Without the sun, nothing can grow. So the sun brings about growth and optimism and happiness and joy, brings about huge energy of a huge dose of positivity. But the sun brings clarity as well, where the moon is in shadow. Right? So this is getting clear on things, right? So nothing is hiding in the shadows when we get that sun. It can't, right? There's nowhere to hide with that sun, right? So very much everything on out in the open for you there. All right. Let's get a couple last messages out here for you. We've got surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. All right. We do teach people how to treat us, and we do often need to put up boundaries somewhere in our world, internally or externally. Surrender to your intuition, right? Remember, we said your intuition is pointing you somewhere. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. All right. If your intuition is telling you that there's something that's going on, something you need to talk about, or that something's happening, right? Because for some of you, there might be a little buzz in the air. Okay. Trust your intuition. And we have surrender to divine timing. Hello, double star cards. Okay. Stars do represent that it is written in the stars. There may be some timing at play because the star energy is miracles and blessings, and big yeses do happen sometimes right here, right now. And sometimes we do need to be a little bit more patient, right? Because things are aligning for you. So surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough, according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. We all have an ego. It's part of being human. And we all have, remember, patience may be a bit of a challenge for some of you there, but we do need to be open and we do need to trust. So I'm going to leave all that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. If so, please like, share, subscribe, throw a comment in the box down below. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic month ahead, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.